When it comes to youth crime, there's no shortage of victims or horror stories. What we lack is solutions. Police crackdowns and tougher penalties might help, but tonight we want to show you a program that uses compassion and care to get young criminals on the right path.
A gang of 6 teenagers is running riot.
The machete-wielding group breaking into homes, stealing luxury cars.
How old were you when you stole your first car?
I was 14 when I stole my first car, and I did crime for the whole year. I seen all my mates doing it. I was just like, oh, I might as well do it as well.
Many of the kids in this story have been on your TV screen before.
Me and my 3 mates started the biggest crime page on the Gold Coast for stealing over 26 cars in a month. When I heard about that, I was like, oh, shit. I stole a lot of cars.
Legally, we can't identify them because most are youth criminals, kids the world had given up on for good, until now.
We're dealing with it in a unique way that is working.
Where would you be if you weren't here doing what you're doing?
I would still be doing crime, you know, still creeping through cars and doing bottle runs.
We advocate for the 1% or the young people that are often on the news.
Did you think then you'd be where you are now?
Probably not, no. It was looking pretty dark back then, not gonna lie, yeah.
If we're looking at the too hard basket or the high-end young people that need support, we're your service.
Joseph Tapuni-Fromont is founder of Everything Suave, a 10-week program on the northern Gold Coast rescuing young people from a life of crime.
What up there? Get all of these.
The teens come to the program from troubled homes, through the court system, and even straight out of juvenile detention. They're brought to the East Suave campground, where the welcome is warm, then very cold.
15 seconds, boys. Who's next, guys?
Why the ice bath, Joe? Talk to us.
First and foremost, facing a bit of adversity in the morning. It's a mental hurdle to want to get into an ice bath, you know, and voluntarily want to get into an ice bath.
You're setting the example as well. You're doing it yourself.
Mate, everything we do, we'll do it beside our boys.
Establishing trust, which allows these troubled teens to open up.
I do have a lot of anger built inside of me. I don't know how to let go of it.
I've decided I'm going to give my mum a second chance, and I'm seeing him over the weekend. That's hard for me after some stuff she and my dad put me through.
For all they might have done, Joe knows addressing these traumas is the first step in getting these kids off the streets and into a job.
You know, we've got young people that are in domestic violence families, or young people that are coming from families that are heavily into drugs and alcohol. But they're coming here and they're wanting to be here because they don't want to be what they've seen their whole life.
I'm being seen as a person. Before all this stuff, I wasn't being seen, so I was just seen as some troubled kid. But now I'm seen as like a positive guy. I get respect from everyone now, and I respect them back. That's what I like.
15-year-old Jacob, not his real name, has been in and out of juvenile detention. He admits he was part of a group that stole 26 cars in 1 month and was also expelled from school for stealing a teacher's car. He says Everything Suave has changed, well, everything.
If I wasn't here, then I would have probably been locked up right now.
What has the place taught you?
It's taught me, like, to make good decisions and stuff. Like, they tell you how to be good in that, how to quit crime officially.
No more crime.
Nah, quit all that crime now. I don't really think about it. Everyone else asks me, like all those boys that still do crime, like, oh, I want to come. I'm like, nah, it's all good, bro.
He's hoping to get a job in roofing, and employment is one of the main elements of the program. Each of the participants receive training in construction while helping to build these tiny homes. Their latest is being donated to a local emergency housing organisation. The same organisation that's helped this young man get off the streets.
I used to be someone that was receiving, and now I can give back.
Where were you living before your current crisis accommodation?
So before where I'm staying now, I was staying in a tent. I was living in a tent And then before that, I was living at McDonald's playground. And before that, I was living like on the side of the streets, like train stations, bus shelters, like those park benches. I had a bad addiction to chroming, so sniffing deodorant cans. There was one point where I tried to take my life because it got too much.
Now he's studying at TAFE to become a youth worker.
This has totally turned your life around.
Full turned my life around. This place has saved me. This place, yeah, this place is family.
I've heard a few of the boys describe this place as their home and their family. How does that make you feel?
That's all anyone ever needs. And, you know, I have a lot of young people that come in and they talk about their lack of support. They talk about not having a home. I know what that feels like, you know, and I'm trying to provide that for them.
Joe makes no secret of the fact he himself has a checkered past.
I started hanging out with the wrong people. At 14, I lost one of my very first friends in a drink driving accident. At 15, I was expelled from school. And then at 16, by the time I turned 16, my dad was a police officer, caught me drug dealing.
Now he says that past has been a key to success.
From day one, we had 9 people in the first program. To today, we've got 17 in program number 12. We've helped over 236 young people with over a 90% employment success rate. And mate, a lot of this is because of our own stories.
It does help having people that have done it to, you know, help other people get out of it, because they've done it before.
They've got that lived experience.
Yep.
Taj was among those first 9 participants. He came in a troubled teen.
I was at the point where I was breaking into stores to get, you know, drugs, not gonna lie, and taking from innocent people, stuff like that. You know, stuff I look back on a bit of shames now. These boys were the only ones that could help me actually realise what I was doing was morally wrong, in a sense.
How do you sort of view life now?
Well, I've got a partner now, so I guess settle down one day and yeah, buy a house. You know, it's like normal people goals.
The program does have some government support, but the goal is to build a permanent wellness centre where youths from right across the country could be sent.
It's a property where young people can come and find themselves, can come and rehabilitate themselves.
They just can't pay for it on their own.
Right now, eSWAV receives around $400,000 a year in funding for the training it provides, but they have to raise another $600,000 just to keep the doors open. Compare that to what they're saving taxpayers. The cost of putting just one of these kids in juvenile detention, $740,000 a year.
We need more funding. You know, how can we help others if we're struggling to help ourselves ultimately?
eSWAV has already won multiple awards and has the support of police and desperate parents whose kids are now back on track.
It went downhill real quick, stealing cars, on drugs, not coming home for 2-3 weeks.
This man's son was referred to the program after repeated run-ins with the law in New South Wales.
I was trying to work a full-time job out on the streets trying to find them. We promised all this help from everyone, all different kind of agencies, to get to a point where, oh, sorry, your son's too hard, we can't help him.
The 15-year-old is now working full-time, building air conditioning units.
And now you look at your son, do you recognise the boy before you?
No, I don't. I just get emotional because I never thought we'd be here. Because he's always a good kid, but you know, he lost his way there for a while.
He's now been recognised alongside the other young men we met at their graduation night.
First and foremost, round of applause for all of our young people that are here today.
This is the only home I've got, where I feel safe and loved. I can't put into words how much it means. When I say eat, you say swallow! Eat, swallow! Eat, swallow!
We are so committed to making a difference in our community, and with the right support, we can truly do that.
You know, it's so easy to say lock them up, but these are the very programs we need our governments to support. It's getting results and keeping all of us a little safer.